Trish McCauley.
Next. Quiet your mind and open your heart, and soon you will see you are meant to feel this way. Quiet your mind and open your heart, and soon you will feel that beating drum. It's been a long, long road so far, and it's a long, long road ahead. But if you get out of your head, you will feel it'll be okay. Quiet the world, it can bring us down, sway us from our inner voice. Quiet the world and lift your head, and you will see the path that's yours. It's been a long, long road so far, and it's a long, long road ahead. But if you get out of your head, you will feel it'll be okay. Quiet the noise that wakes your night, disturbs your dreams, and haunts your soul. Quiet the noise that blinds us all from the truth of an open heart. It's been a long, long road so far, and it's a long, long road ahead. But if you get out of your head, you will feel it'll be okay. Quiet your mind and open your heart, then you will know how you feel.
That's the title track from Trish McCauley's debut CD, Quiet Your Mind. Trish is originally from PEI, but now calls Toronto home. She works as a music therapist and psychotherapist, and today she's unveiling some of her other talents. Her CD is being launched this evening in Bedeck. The lyrics deal with a life change she's had in the last 5 years. Trish, hi, welcome to Main Street.
Thank you.
And congratulations on your CD.
Thank you, and thanks for having me.
This CD, which is a little small package, entails a huge amount of transition in your life.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Did you start out as a musician, or how did this become a way for you to tell your story?
Yeah, I have been a musician for a while, but I wasn't a songwriter. This became my outlet when I literally hit rock bottom. I had, I needed motivation to keep going. I needed a way to explain what I was feeling, and words, I couldn't do it with words, and music became that medium that allowed me to explain myself, allowed me to move these emotions that were stuck. So that songwriting didn't start till about 5 years ago.
Was it around that time that you made a realization about yourself?
Yes, so I was married to a man, absolutely head over heels for him for 10 years, high school sweetheart. We were married, and then the abrupt realization that I was gay, that came January 2011, I think.
You mentioned, too, that the album is about grief.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's about the kind of grief that people might typically think about. What was the grief that you were dealing with?
So when I came to the abrupt realization that I'm gay, I had to get divorced from my husband, and it felt like a death. Absolutely, a grief of losing him, a grief of losing how I pictured my life, the future that I pictured with him, the future that I pictured with our children. All of that was broken. Mm-hmm. And that was the grief that I felt, but I say it's like a death, but the hardest part is he's still alive, he's just not in my life. So with a death, we have rituals, we have ways to honor that person, and rituals like a funeral and those kind of things. So how do you move on when it's a death but they're still alive? That's where I turned to the music, because it was impossible. I didn't know how to move on. I didn't know how to stop the hurt So the grief that I'm feeling, I still can access it, but it gets a little quieter, a little lighter, but I'm always going to grieve the loss of him. And I don't want to fill that void either. I'm learning how to live with that void. And that's where the music helps me so much.
It's so incredibly courageous to come out, I think. And depending on your background, your family, institutions like religion can make it easier or more difficult. How was it for you?
I had so much support. It's ridiculous, and I understand that it's not like that for people. Probably the majority of people, it's not like that. The support of my family, the support of my friends, even the support of my ex-husband and his family. I was very, very lucky to have that support.
Now, I think one of your songs that you were pointing out to me, does that deal with the kind of judgment that you felt in terms of religion?
Yeah, so the religious part is throughout this whole album. I love pushing the boundaries there. When I came out, I had a lot of guilt and these feelings of self-hate, that I did something wrong and that I'm the bad guy. And I was looking at where these thoughts come from, and it was external world of how I learned things through, I grew up Catholic, and as I started to catch these thoughts of like self-hate and guilt, they were things that I learned through the institution of religion. Like, you're not gay, don't have sex before marriage, don't get divorced. I'm like, oh my God, I just broke all three of those rules. So throughout the album, there are what I would call, and they're just my own opinions, of how religion can distract you from yourself. It's sometimes telling you what you should believe, and if you don't do it correctly, then you're going to go to hell. So the song that I was pointing out to you, Divided Divine, it came about when some people with certain religions were questioning, how do you know you're gay now? Like, this is a choice, this is a decision. I'm like, why would I decide this? Like, why would I do that? There was kind of implying that I might go to hell. And have you considered praying away these feelings of being gay? I was like, I don't want to pray it away. I want to pray to accept myself. So that song starts with, I'm going to be in hell with a bunch of lesbians. That sounds pretty hot to me. But then it goes on, I kind of use humor to help me get through, but
right.
I think there are some good messages in that one still.
This is Pride Week in PEI. I don't know if you were planning to release this around the same time on PEI.
Completely by accident, but perfect timing.
Yeah. Do you think you have a message for people who are struggling in the LGBT community?
Wow, I feel that one in my throat when I got it. I think the important part of sharing this music and who I want to reach out to, specifically within the LGBT community, is that you're not alone. What you're feeling, if there's fears and sadness or guilt, you're not alone. And the more we can share that, share our experience, share what we're feeling, we're going to find common ground that we overlap, and you'll find strength in that too. Find strength in yourself, but find strength in other people's stories.
And you got a lot of support through the LGBT community as you were coming out.
I did. I'm going to quote my mother. When I was at one of my lowest lows and just not knowing where to go, or like I felt isolated, and talking to my mom on the phone one day, and she's like, why don't you go play some gay sports or something? And I'm like, Mom, that's crazy. And I got off the phone and I Googled gay sports in Toronto, and I started playing rainbow hoops. And the people that I met through that, the connections that I made, hearing their stories gave me so much strength. And I remember saying to Mom too, I don't need gay friends just because I'm gay. Yeah, you do, actually. You do.
We're going to play another one of your songs. What are we going to hear?
I say let's go for Divided Divine. It's Pride Week, so this one starts off bold, and go from there.
Trish, thank you so much, and congratulations again.
Thank you, and happy Pride Week.
Trish McCauley is a singer-songwriter and a music therapist from PEI and based in Toronto. The release of her CD, Quiet Your Mind, takes place tonight at the Bedeck Museum at 7 p.m. We're going to listen to Divided Divine, and we have 2 copies of Trish's CD to give away. You can call Eva at 902-629-6461.
lesbians. It sounds pretty hot to me. Who else will I meet beyond those fiery gates? Only time will tell. Heaven above will be jealous, I know, looking down in disbelief, only to realize there is no right or wrong. I am who I am, you are who you are. Please help those minds that divide the divine. The greater good comes from within. Cease consumption of your tumble dryer thoughts. Follow your heart, it knows you best. Love is behavior, don't get blinded by the words. Follow your gut, you feel it now. Please help those minds that divide the divine. The greater good comes from within. Who are you to decide how one should live her life? Brainwashed, you pray for change. I pray to accept. I'm gonna be in hell with a bunch of lesbians. It sounds pretty hot to me.
That is Trish McCauley, and we have two winners for her CDs, Shirley Gardner and Penny Wright. And again, Trish's launch is this evening at 7 o'clock at the Bedeck Museum. And they're going to have a band performing with her, so it should be a good time. 7 minutes now to 5 o'clock. 3 countries, 2